Howdy, this is Shannon Kringen, Goddess Kring, back in the saddle of Seattle. We went from Seattle to Houston and back in 17 days. We drove between 4, 5, and 600 miles every day. We stayed in Fort Collins, Colorado for a few days. We stayed in Bisbee for one extra day to rest and to stay with a friend. And we mostly stayed in Houston for the Art Car Parade and Festival. I'm looking back at my over 2,000 photos, and I have a conflict. I'm used to traveling by myself, and this time I traveled with two friends in my art car, Opal Moonstone, and we did have fun. But I really wanted to focus more on art photography, and there really wasn't a lot of time. There was two other people involved, and we had to eat and drink and sleep and take care of our basic human needs at the rest stops. And I feel a little sad that I didn't get any good pictures of cactus. There's some really beautiful cactus. I got some good urban decay photos. I got some good grackle bird photos. I wish I had zoomed in on the mockingbird birds at Las Vegas on the strip more. I'm looking through, hoping to find the art photos. I wish that I had taken portraits of every single art car instead of a basic snapshot, which is what everybody does, take snapshots of art cars. That's fine to document. That's sort of documentary style photography. What I'm interested in is zooming in on things and composing photos in the shot, not to sound like an uptight, pretentious artist, but there is part of me that I guess is documenting reality when I take photos. But my favorite photography that I do, and what brings me the most joy in my photography, is composing, is seeing a bird or a mud puddle or an art car and composing the shot, zooming in on an object that's ordinary, but composing it into an artistic photo so that sometimes you can't even tell what it is when I zoom in on something really close up. Like I took a picture of these toys that were like metallic peacock feathers in Fort Collins, Colorado. Like here's my metallic hair, a scrunchy thing. And if you zoom in on something like this metallic thing, you get like distortion and effects, and you shoot through reflections and windows. Some of my favorite photos I've ever taken are involving multi-layers of reflections of windows and mud puddles. There was some beautiful misty, almost Burning Man looking scenes in the desert near Arizona and Utah and Nevada, where there was like a dust storm in the distance and mountains. And I really wanted, we just didn't really have time to stop that often. My friend Dave actually did stop a few times for me to take photos, but we generally needed to just, hurry up and get to where we were going. But I wish that I had slowed down a little, and I think I just took sort of basic snapshots of art cars, which I can show my family and friends, but I'm not really interested in just showing you a bunch of snapshots that I took of everyone's art car as much as I wanted to create my own artistic photos of an art car or of a building or of a mud puddle reflection. I hope that I'm clear. I'm just expressing and processing my experience, and the trip was very complicated, and we did an amazing job. My Honda Fit 2010 Honda Fit Sport did amazing. I got my oil change right before we left. I'm getting my oil change because I'm very practical. As an artist, I'm very financially and fiscally practical. I know how to do things on a budget, and I'm very much concerned with, because I'm on my own, basically. I live by myself and I'm on my own, and we are getting partially reimbursed for some of the gas for this trip. So this trip, I hadn't gone on a trip since 2018, and I think we did amazingly well on a budget. And I'm getting my oil changed because we drove 4,600 miles in my smart car. I used to have a smart car. Now I have an art car, a Honda Fit Sport 2010. It has 145,000 miles on it now. And when I got it, it had 103,000. So I've driven like 2,000 miles on my art car in the last few years. So my Honda Fit did amazing. We had no issues. We drove through heat. We drove through rainstorm. We thankfully missed the golf ball sized hail that sometimes falls in Houston, but we didn't see any hurricanes or tornadoes or huge hail. We missed that storm pretty much. We also missed the eclipse because we weren't in the right place to see it, but we weren't really trying. We were trying to just get ourselves from Houston to Fort Collins, and Seattle and Bisbee were our main resting stops. And so I'm just like proud of myself for doing a good job on the trip, but I'm a little sad that I didn't focus more on taking my artistic photos. I took 2,100 photos with my waterproof and super zoom Canon camera, and then I haven't even looked through my smartphone photos, but I have a really high quality smartphone photo camera thingy McJagger. I'm going to look at that and see how many really good artistic photos that I took, because those are the ones I'm interested in more than just snapshots documenting our trip. Again, that's for family and friends. But for my own artistic expression, I like to put my best photos on my Flickr feed, which is Shannon Kringen on Flickr. I also want to do more music with Day Flowers and promote that. So I'm interested in promoting my music, promoting my poetry book. I did end up selling 5 poetry books on my trip. I gave a few away. I kind of clammed up socially in Houston. I got overwhelmed. Really, really nice people, but I was just overstimulated and I sort of clammed up socially. But I participated in all of the art car events pretty well, pretty effectively. But I was overwhelmed at some point and had some anxiety and stress in some ways, but I got through it. And my friend Dave Flowers helped me through that. And he's a more extroverted, outgoing person, so he was way happier with all of the extreme social stimulation. I was needing more breaks in solitude than I took, and I got overstimulated and got really stressed out at one point, a couple times. But we fixed that all up, and I took some beautiful photos in Bisbee, Arizona, and Houston, Texas. I regret that we didn't have time to drive around Houston, Texas a little bit more, because there's all these amazing neon signs, and interesting urban decay and grunge. And I almost took a powerful photo of a homeless woman sleeping with her dogs on the AstroTurf in front of one of the fancy, schmancy, multi-billion million dollar casinos in Las Vegas. What a contrast of wealth and poverty. A little disturbing, but that's part of the reality of current times. But I didn't take that photo because I didn't want to invade that person's privacy, but it would have been a very powerful image to see a woman lying there on the AstroTurf with her 2 beautiful dogs, just trying to sleep and get some rest, next to the super fancy, perfectly manicured, fancy schmancy casino. We didn't gamble at all in Vegas. We weren't there to gamble. We were there to run around and take pictures and just see the sights and enjoy all of the performance and theatrics of Las Vegas. Bisbee, Arizona is an old copper mining town that still looks kind of like the 1800s. It's an amazing, unique place in Arizona. And we went to Douglas, Arizona to see the Art Car Museum. And miraculously, I saw Kelly Lyles, art car lady from Seattle. Kelly Lyles is Leopard Bernstein, her art car that she donated to the museum in Arizona. And now she has a new art car that's women's accessories glued all over it. So I'm happy that I got to see that. And there were 250 to 300 art cars, and they say between 2 and 300,000 people lining the streets of Houston to watch us. I regret that I also didn't videotape when the guy was interviewing me. Several times along the parade route in Houston, there was people interviewing and announcing each art car by name and saying the name of the artist and where they're from. And then at one point, somebody jumped towards me with a microphone, and I don't know if I was on local radio or TV or both in Houston. And I should have had my friend, my co-pilot, video, or I should have self-videoed me, but I missed that on video, so I didn't get that. But I was excited to be interviewed on a microphone and drive through the streets of Houston with all the other beautiful art cars and all the friendly people. And it was an amazing experience. I'll be doing more videos about it. Just wanted to do a little recap. It is now April 22nd, 2024. This is Shannon Kringen, Goddess Kringen, Seattle, signing off for now. Bye for now.